And good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. Interesting day again in the markets. The volatility did kick itself up a few notches, and it did occur both to the upside and to the downside. So there was some pretty good trading today, and one only needed to remain truly focused and very aware of price action and possibilities. So let's kind of dive into changes that have now taken place and how that fits in and where we go next. As I left off yesterday, I thought that the S&P had completed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. I had been labeling them as minute, but as I had been saying that that may change. It will remain a 5 waves up, but as to what degree was not determined just yet. And as the market started to pull back, I again was using this level as a no break zone, but I had dropped it down to this level based on the 5-wave structure up. And if this was a wave 2, it could come all the way back down to here. And so basically with the depth that it's gotten to thus far, I am changing the degree, and minute wave 1 is now complete at this level. And this again is the preferred count. So there's an alternate count, and that alternate count continues to suggest that we're going to get a deeper dive. But with this particular 5 waves, I just don't feel that that is necessarily the case right now. And so based on that, I feel that the rally off of today's low would have been just at 46.01, and the zone of support was 46.07 down to 4600. I'm like very impressed with the S&P that it stopped right there, and then within the next hour just really started to lift off of that level and finish the day up and trading right now as it restarts in Globex at about 46.29. And that was after reaching almost to 46, let's say 39 was this high. Let's see, let's get right to it. 46.38. So it does appear that the upside is now on again. I can readjust that probability scale, but I still need to leave it 50-50, believe it or not, because the market could turn again if this is only a 1 or 2, and this was just the 3 of this particular leg down, even on a wave 2. Could be ABC, A, could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. So there's still some possibilities. And so we have to leave that open. And that's what I mean about a 50-50 probability. The market will just continue to go up from this level. What will skew that probability scale to the upward direction would be that we break cleanly above the 20. We start breaking above the 200 and the 50 as we start heading towards these resistance zones. Now, one more, then these are the resistance zones for the upside move. Now, initially, we were looking at 47.80, 79.80. If this was a minor wave 5, that's where minor wave 5 would be equal to 62% of the distance of minor 3, most common. That still sits at 47.79. It would be a new high. But being that this might be just wave 1, it's going to go much further. So I want to add one additional layer to this. And that is going to be, again, going to go from this high, 47.40, 50, right there. Add the drawing. And add that. And then I'm going to go down to this low. And up to this. No, I did that wrong. Please forgive me. I'm going to go from here because we're now going to try to measure out a wave 3. Sorry about that. Start there and go to this high, which was 23.25, and down to this low, which was 46.01. You want to tell me 46. It actually was just below. I did get to 46.96. Okay, so now we still, if we're looking for a third wave as it relates to a first wave, has to be at least 100%. That's 48.27. Now, under Elliott, third waves are often, most often, the longest and the strongest wave out of that 5-wave sequence. So as 3 of 5, I would anticipate that it's going to go much higher. And that level corresponds to right here. And this would just be the third at 49.61. So again, could the joke be that Santa's rally was just postponed while we did what we did in terms of a small correction and the buyers plow back in tomorrow? Here's the caveat. Yeah, that is possible. But they're going to have to truly swallow anything that the Fed has to dish out tomorrow at their conference, when we have the press conference. And the market's already, I believe, trying to factor in that tapering will begin and may be quicker and involve higher percentages of that tapering. What's actually going to be lowered? How high is that going to force the rate? So this could be interesting. Now, I'm just going on what today presented us and include what tomorrow may bring. So initially tomorrow, I do believe, now don't forget that we still have Asian markets to put in their 2 cents and what they need to do in our markets. And then we have the European markets. And it was the European markets right here at midnight, that, or 3 a.m. Eastern, started to sell it. We didn't pick up until later. And we actually initially bought it. So I'm going to think that this rally will continue. I'm going to drop this down to a, let's drop it down to 15 and see what the internals look like down there. What we have going on down here is a 1, 2, a 3, a 4. Looking like it wants to kind of start to come up and maybe put in a small 5th wave and finish an initial 5 waves up to kick off that 3rd wave. That would be a good sign of continued upside. If the market overnight does not do that, but turns lower and comes down and breaks first 46.08, and then of course it has down there in the bottom 45.96, that would be the expectation. If it comes all the way down and breaks below 46.08, my expectation would be is like it's just going to keep on going and it's going to go down and put in the low end because it's left 3 up. It will be 3 waves up. That in and of itself is not bullish. 3 up suggests we get 5 more down. Come on. So there is that possibility that we'll get a quick another 5 down. And then that'll complete that wave 2. So, or at least put in the A wave of A2. So we have a couple of opportunities here to go in either direction. Another reason why the probability scale remains 50-50. 50% could go up, 50% could go down. So now the market will tell us, but let's be prepared for both. Downside, it's going to start breaking below, right? The 4, the 8, the 20. Breaking above, it's going to get above the 50, put a close above the 50, and start heading up toward the 200. It'll have some initial resistance, some additional resistance, and then it's going to start getting back above those highs. So that would be my look. downside activity now, we'd be looking for a move to take us back below. If it breaks, again, if it breaks 46.08, look for a break below 45.96. Back out to that hourly chart. Let's see what I got. So on the downside, we should have continued support for a C wave. We would actually just draw from here to here, and that'll give you the extensions going down to finish as a C wave. So A, B, C. And so if you want to take a peek at that, you're gonna have a lot on the chart. So this is so much fun, isn't it? And I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to put another using that. Ready? Go down to this low, to this high. These may not be exact, but we're going to get an idea. So we have 45.66 to the downside, and then 45.40 to the downside. But I would be looking for 45.66. And that's where wave C would be equal to 1.618 of wave A. It's already surpassed the 100% mark and got close to that 1.236. So these would be up 45.82, 45.66. So that is the downside potential as I see it. A break below that really changes the whole picture yet again. So for tomorrow, I am believing that if we can get up one more, then we're likely to have done a 5-wave structure up, which will leave us in a fairly good position. Let me get rid of these so that we can see clearly. It would put us in a very good position to pull back, but then launch, right? So what we're looking at is if we get up and we can make one additional, right? 1, 2, 3, a little 4, get up, put in a new high above 46.38, pull back again, likely back down to that 416.18, maybe towards this bottom area here at 24, but we got a zone, bottom in a 3-wave structure down, and then launch, and I mean launch, because it'll be a 3rd wave, it'll be wave 3 of 3, because this would be labeled wave 2. So it's beginning stages of a 3rd wave. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it. Trade smart, trade accordingly. Please do not forget that tomorrow is Fed Day. Tomorrow is Fed Day. The Fed announcement or decision comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern. The press conference begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Trade smart, trade accordingly to your moving averages and the price action. Have a great day. Next update will be Wednesday the 15th.